Okay. Hi, everybody.
All
Oh,
done. All done.
thank you. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's so lovely to see you all on here today. It's great to be back. I would just like to introduce ourselves for all the new people and the guests because we are live streaming. My name is Yvonne Mackett. I'm from Perth, Australia, well, originally from the UK. I have lived here for 30 years. And I previously owned and established two designer clothing boutiques and a hair and beauty salon whilst building two online ML businesses. I now actually work as a nanny and also work part time. And I also share this amazing opportunity. We also have Kenton Patterson, who is unable to be with us today as he is working. He is from New Zealand, but we have our lovely host today, Narelle Walk-on. Narelle is a published author, and she also has owned her two businesses, two florist businesses. Narelle has also spent many years and a lot of money trying to create an online business with a residual income. Now, Narelle and I met here through On Passive, and we joined together as On Passive Aussie Girls and a Kiwi guy for Australia and New Zealand. So we try and help as many people as we can, and you'll see Narelle on the On Passive platform. Now, we've formed a really good close friendship, and yeah, we really do want to get this out to the world, but especially Australia and New Zealand, because we are the last countries to jump on board and see this great opportunity. We have a YouTube channel streaming live called On Passive Aussie Girls. And so if you see us, hi. So I'd like to hand you back to Narelle, where she will read the Australian Acknowledgement of Country and we'll chat about this huge IT company that has started to disrupt the online world for the better and going to change lives around the world. So over to you, Narelle.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I know time is precious, and we have missed you guys so much. You know, here in Australia, we had a little founders only last Friday night, just to catch up with our local people, our teams, and things like that. It's just wonderful that, you know, you have such a beautiful family within On Passive all over the world. But for our guys that are local, thank you. Thank you always for your support, because it really is important that we cheer each other on, lift each other up. You know, so times can be a little bit tough. Our dear country, Australia, is really going through some tough times right now, just as many countries all over the world are. We don't share a lot of that. You probably hear something maybe on your news and things like that. But please make sure that you keep us in your prayers for all of those, for all of our country, and also for our CEO, Mr. Ash Mafara, and our company On Passive. So I'm going to read our acknowledgement of country, and then we'll go into a little bit of a chat. Thank you. We would like to acknowledge the land in which we are meeting on today and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. We would like to thank them for the knowledge they share with us to look after the land and each other. And in taking those words, look after each other. Our land and each other is really important. We are all really important, and we have been called on this mission of becoming a founder within this amazing company On Passive. How many of us have ever had this opportunity before to be a founder within a multi-billion-dollar company even before launch? So give yourselves a clap, actually, because I think each and every one of us deserve what we have right in front of us right now. And thank you once again. Now, we've had so much happening, and I know that each and every one of you have probably been on other webinars. You've seen the excitement. You've seen the excitement of the 30th of March when the huge, none of us really knew, right? And I know Marty, well, he may have known, but he didn't know. And we all had little guesses as to how was this going to be seen from the sky? How was this going to be see you at the top? You know, and we all sort of wondered, maybe it was a satellite going up. You know, I sort of think maybe a plane or a blimp going across the sky with on passive, something. I mean, you sort of go to extremes because guess what? Our CEO, Ash Mafara, says dream big, think big, dream bigger, right? So anything, it could have been anything. But how amazing that it's actually the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. I mean, none of us expected that. And, to have it highlighted with all of those lights with on passive, I think it sent goosebumps and tears in a lot of people, because some of you have been in since the very beginning. And for you guys, and I know a few that have been, it must have been almost like a overwhelming sense of relief and excitement, all put into one, because it was for us. And I know for Chris and myself, we've been in about 18 months, and we've been part of it, but we haven't been there the longest. So congratulations to all you guys who have been in for a very long time, because you stayed. You saw the vision that was handed down, and you stayed. Some have left, and that's okay, because if they didn't see the vision, then they weren't going to be able to help that much anyway. And maybe they were in for the wrong reasons. Maybe they were in just for the money. Maybe they were in just for themselves. But this isn't a company just for ourselves. And when we first came in, we thought it was just a company for residual income, because most of you, not myself, but most of you were looking for something online to do, that residual income that you could build, because you tried many other companies. And maybe you were a little bit scared, and maybe you were a little bit fearful when you first looked at it, because you thought, not another one, surely not another bright, shiny object. Surely something's got to work. You've been looking and searching, and in your head you thought, surely to goodness, something's got to work soon. And you got, failure after failure, because they were failures, because what they gave you was empty promises of wanting to help you, thinking that, if you had a big Facebook following, or, you're a talkative person like myself, that you would just go out there and just share it with everybody. But the thing is, most of the time, our past stop us because we have fear within us, fear of being caught out, fear of being told, because within those other companies, we were selling something, usually a product to make you look better, or a product to make you feel better, or washing powder that washed your clothes better and it was better quality. We were all sold something within those online businesses, those MLMs. But how many of us actually made money? How many walked across the stage, but yet you spent hundreds of dollars to attend those big, what did they call them? Where they get together, and you spend hundreds of dollars to get there. Then you spend hundreds of dollars to stay there, because you're usually there for a few nights. You're interacting with others, having a chat, you dress nicely, you look the part, and then you watch everybody else walk across that stage and think, why not me? They promised me that I could do this as well. And you're not going to walk across with your check for $8.43, are you? That would look a bit silly, I'm sure. But how many of them up there have, trodden on people to get where they are, in a sense? They sold you a dream, but they didn't follow through on anything. So I want to thank you all for being here, because your patience, the fact that you're still here, doesn't matter how long you've been in. And even if you're just coming in, because I know we're live streaming here today, you may not know anything about On Passive. And I'm going to ask a few people to speak, to come out and talk a little about their journey firstly, but then we're going to go over to another topic. So I'm going to ask Marty DeGamo to come up first. Marty, if you can just keep it to about 5 minutes and just share what On Passive is for our people that may be watching and our guests here today.
Okay, I'll try to do that. Listen, most people come online by the thousands, and the reason they come on is they want to make a little extra income, or replace the income that they might have lost, or quit their job. I came on back in 2004. I wound up on disability, and when you go from whatever you make and they give you disability, less than half of what you made, you struggle. And I still had kids at home, and I didn't realize, but years later I'd wind up having most of my grandkids would be here too. So I got on to make money just like everybody else. And you see all the businesses out there are so-called opportunities, and they all look great. They're a shiny object. You get in, you do what you're told, and 99% of the people don't make a dime. And if they do, I mean, you might make money, but if you really do, how much, if you add up what you put out and what you brought in, the truth is you lost money. Most people lost money. And the ones that are making money found a way to bring people in faster than they quit. And to me, that's not a business. That's a racket. And the problem is, while you're doing that, you're stepping on other people to get to the top. Maybe not intentionally. I did it. I know I did it. And I would look at people and say, I want to help you. And I did want to help them. But I did not have a system where I could just turn it over to them and say, look, follow this system and you will be able to do what I'm doing. And I didn't have it, and it wasn't there. And people say, well, you can buy this system, you could buy this, you go to this course, another racket, and racket after racket after racket. And what happens is people get so caught up in the circle of crap, they can't afford to get out. They've invested too much, so they keep reinvesting, hoping for that ray of sunshine, and it's not there. And 3 years ago, I saw on Passive, it was, I don't believe in accidents. And Passive saw me, or whatever you want to call it. I looked at it and said, well, if this can do 10% what it says it can, it's going to be the best that ever happened. And it didn't. It wasn't true. It was better. And every day after that, I realized this is much bigger than I thought it was. And yes, it's too good to be true, but it is true. It makes up for all the businesses. I lost money. I lost friends. Family think I'm crazy. And I don't try to convince anybody in it. There's many people that walk this planet with better speakers than me. One was named Jesus Christ, and people didn't believe him either. So you share it. If they believe it, they'll follow you. If they have vision, they'll do it. Some people don't have vision. They were blind at birth, even though they had their eyes. So you do the best you can, you share the business, and you move on. But there is nothing on the planet like OnPassive. Nothing. 100% automated. They do everything for you. You're in, you win. If you can find something better than that, let me know. You're talking to somebody that spent 12, 13 hours a day online for 18 years. I doubt if you're going to find something I haven't seen. That's all I got. I don't know if I was 5 minutes or not, but I did my best.
Thank you, Marty, and thank you for sharing that. It really is important for people to understand what OnPassive is and the journey of many of the founders, because right now we have 1.2 million founders. Now, I've never heard of that happen before in any other company. Maybe founder positions were available to others, you know, whether it be through Microsoft or, excuse me, Facebook, Apple, any of those. But the everyday person like you and me, right, we were never asked to be founders in those companies. Now, here we have the opportunity because our CEO said, hey, listen, I've seen what's happening. I see there's only about 3% that are getting paid and good pay. You know, even if you're only making $100 or $200, that's not necessarily why you went online in the beginning. You know, to some people, that is a fortune. You know, $100, $200 a week or a month would absolutely semi-change their lives to be able to provide fresh water, you know, food and that sort of thing. So I think, Marty, you know, what we have to understand is OnPassive is like nothing else there has been and done before. And I think we have to understand how big this is. When we talk about OnPassive, we talk about a platform of 20 plus products and tools that you can see over on our website at onpassive.com. Please go and have a look, see how they fit into your life, because each and every one of you, if you're using a phone, if you're using a computer, will be using some of those platforms, emails, you know, trackers, things for staffing, whether you're in business, small, medium, or large business, you will want to take a look at these products, because not only have they been made from scratch, but they are going to be available to you at a lower price point. And I know big businesses are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for things like our O staff and having everything in one spot. We do have 50 plus products that will become available, and it will always be added to. There's going to be more and more and more, because instead of just sitting back, and I think I heard on a webinar yesterday, it could have been you, Marty, but saying, what happened is these technologies or these companies that have used theirs, they just had a platform available, and that's it. That was just good enough. Okay, good enough for them to work, to get people to use it. And maybe they do a few upgrades along the way, right? And that was for one platform. We have 20 plus platforms. Like I said, you can view them over on the website, but these are state of the art. These are the best of the best. They've sourced the best of the best in India, and also now Singapore, also now Dubai. I mean, OnPassive owns floors 151 at the top and 134, not rent, not lease, but owns those 2 floors. How amazing is OnPassive? We're not starting from some garage or, from some little shop or some attic or things like that. We're starting at the top. You want to be a part of this, you need to be a founder today. Okay, now I just do want to call out one of our Aussie people. I'd like to call on you, John Batakis, and I'd like you to share with us just for a couple of minutes, because I know that you have had previous experience in the online business and world, and I would like you to share with us and those out there who are listening all over the world, but also Australia and New Zealand. So thank you, John.
Thank you, Narelle. Thank you, everybody. I have had quite a bit of experience, like Marty, in the online world. I have lost a lot of money, and I did say to myself that OnPassive will be my final venture. If this doesn't work out, then I'm just going to go back to the 9-to-5 grind. So yeah, I joined OnPassive in June of last year, and I have not looked back ever since. What I've seen and what's coming is going to blow everybody's mind. It's going to blow everybody's mind. Every single person in the world will know about OnPassive. Don't know how long it's going to take, but they will know about us. And the founders are just in the best position of all time. OnPassive will change lives. It will change humanity as a whole. It will change the way everybody talks about sort of other people. People will come together with OnPassive. There won't be any divide. We're all going to come together as one, and humanity as a whole will benefit from not only OnPassive, but also the founders and what OnPassive will do for the world. So thank you, Narelle.
Thank you, John, and thank you for sharing that with us today. It's really lovely to hear you. And you're right, as one, we always said as one, we can send out a little ripple, and we can help those around us. We're not starting as one. We are one person, but together we are united. We're together, 1.2 million founders. What sort of a ripple is that going to cause? How can we help people? We always think, what can I do? How can I change the world? Just me, but it's not thinking about just you anymore. We've always wanted to help, and some of us may have helped in some form, sending money to those less fortunate than ourselves. I send to a gentleman in Uganda, and it saddens me every time I do it because I want to give more. Okay, but I give what I can, and that's a start. And I know that Ashma Farah himself says, start where you are. Start around your neighborhood, start around your community, start with those who you feel that you can help in some small way. We don't have to wait till the apples come. We don't have to wait till the baskets are full of apples. We can start already today. you know, and it doesn't have to be in financials. It doesn't have to be money. We can give somebody a smile, a helping hand, a sandwich, you know, just a g'day, mate, how you going? You know, because in Australia, we're sort of losing our ability to just, you know, we have always been the underdogs, but we've always been there to support the underdogs. So we need to lift each other up more and more each day, and keep an eye on your neighbours, keep an eye on your friends, you know, call out to them and say, how are you going? You know, so, and if they ask you what you're doing, then you share with them. If they don't see it, that's fine. Not everybody's ready to change their lives. Not everybody's out there to change humanity. Some don't even think there's a problem, because the longer you keep your head buried in the sand, the longer you're going to think that there is no problem. So anyone who's sitting on the fence, anyone who has had a look at On Passive and thought, I don't know, it just sounds, you know, too good to be true, or it doesn't sound right, or it just doesn't fit with me, that's okay, because we don't need you. That's the thing with On Passive, no selling or recruiting. You know, not like those other companies where you've got to go out there. It's a dog eat dog world. You got to get out there and get those before somebody else does, because the newest product is coming out, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to make you look better, 20 years younger, you know, whether it's to make your clothes better, whatever it is, you know. And the health industry alone, oh my gosh, how many new products are coming out that are better than the next one, better than the last one, you know, and how many of us try them thinking that maybe this time it'll work. Now, I have joined some of those companies mainly to use the products, because sometimes the products are amazing. But those old platforms of MLM, they do not work. They never really have. If you have a look back and look at your life and say, well, which company did I join? Were you a part of any of those companies where they told you buy the biggest product because that will get you to the next level quicker, you know, and then go on auto ship? You must be on auto ship for at least 3 months, you know, because that way you're going to make sure that you stay at that level, and then you can bring people in and stuff like that. Doesn't work, right? You know, you have to be absolutely crazy if you think that that platform's going to bring you a residual income to change your life. That's the difference, okay? Because most of those auto ships are making, or you're paying $200 to $300, maybe a little bit less on some of them, maybe a bit more on some of them. And that check arrives and you're disappointed, because you know that you spent $200 or $300 and you're getting a check for $8, $28, $58. It's still not going to cover it. And you've worked your bum off to actually get there, you know, because you've shared it with your friends and said, hey, look at this product. I really want you to join. This is it. We're going to go places. We're going to do things. Doesn't happen, you know. So thank you, John, for sharing, because I know that we've all been there. We've all lost money. You know, we've all tried it online. I'm going to change topics now. And I'm going to go over to the fact that our CEO asked a question of all of us just recently, and it was, how can we eliminate poverty? Now, I want each and every one of you to think about this, because I did, and I heard some people speak about it, but I want you to dig even a little bit deeper, because eliminating poverty is not going to happen overnight, right? It's going to take all of us to be able to contribute towards that. But have you thought how? Not just, oh, Bless is going to be an amazing platform for that, because, you know, even if each person put in $1, it's going to create a huge amount of finances, but it's going to take more than that. You know, how are you looking at your neighborhood, your community? Are you getting out there and speaking to the people on the ground to say, hey, listen, shortly, I want to be able to help you, but I want to know firstly, how do you need help? Right? Because we don't know. We don't live in homelessness, right? We've got food on the table, a roof over our head. So how do you think it's going to start? Now, last Wednesday, I actually spoke with Ash, and oh, what a glorious time it was. He came onto the Caribbean, and it truly is a blessing when you speak with Ash. He's so humble and just so down to earth, but you can see his mind ticking all the time, you know, like questions that you might ask and things like that. Now, the Caribbean with Admiral Walker is a beautiful, beautiful webinar. If you've ever been to it, it truly is amazing. And I myself and Chris have been there for a long time, and Yvonne as well. So Chris is taking over there for about 3 to 4 weeks to bring about a platform about Oh Bless. Now, obviously, there's a little bit more information. And Chris, I'd like you to share a little bit with us tonight, because I know you can't share everything, but just the build up to, you know, what's going to happen this Tuesday night, I believe it is, Wednesday morning for us. I would love to hear a little bit from you about that, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Narelle. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, my Kiwi brother, who I haven't seen because he comes on Thursdays. Appreciate you guys, what you do all the time. Let me touch base on a few other things. First, Narelle, because I love her name is pronounced Narelle, but we call her Narelle because it's cute. All right, you just said something, and if anyone knows me, I like to listen to people talk. I like to educate myself with people to understand how they feel. Now, Narelle just said something very important. She said, I give what I can. Say it to yourself. I give what I can. All right. I want to change that. I want to change that. When we launch to the world, where our new saying is going to be, I give because we can. I give because we can. Okay. It's a bold statement, but I know it's really going to happen. So as Narelle mentioned, I'm starting something on Tuesdays, and this is about everyone. This isn't about one individual. This is about many individuals that's going to really, really build. If you don't know, listen, we're running YouTube right now. Totally get it. And on every one of your channels, there's always 2 or 3 people that get on there, and they're negative, not because I think that's their livelihood, because they don't truly understand what a passive is about. You've all enjoyed this journey and understood completely what Ash's his dreams and goals are. And he's living those dreams and goals right now. And he's got 1,200,000 plus people that's helping him live and dream those goals. So bless is extremely important. And what we're looking for, and I'm going to call this out, I'll probably repeat myself on Tuesday. I'm trying to get in touch with people who actually do things out there right now, like work with the homelessness, work with mentally challenged, work with drug addicted people. So I will ask you this, if you know any of those people in your area, okay, and you know them personally, or maybe you can reach out to them. We're going to be on there every Tuesday. I would love to hear them educate us on what they're doing. But I also want to hear ideas from everyone, because I promise you this, I've got, oh my gosh, many, many ideas sent to me of how they would do it. And they're all awesome, because there's not one bad one. But there's going to be one individual out there, maybe 2, that says something that's going to completely blow up my brain like, wow. Because if you remember what Ash Mafara says, this isn't passive. We're a unique company. We do things different, and that's exactly what he's doing. When's the last time you filled out a resume, and on the top of the resume, it basically said, we do it all for you? Man, if that was on every resume, there'd be a lot of people filling things out. Now, of course, we don't have a resume. We basically have like that $97 founder spot. That's a great resume. And basically it does say that on the top, we do it all for you. And that's what it is. But when Obless hits after we launch, and you could plan for Obless right now, okay, which I tell people, you don't have to wait until we launch. If you have the means, if you have extra funds, help somebody out. One of the things that Ash Mafara and myself and many of you always said, just be kind to people. One person a day, put a smile on someone's face. Obless is not only going to put a lot of smiles all over the world. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be the most talked about thing all over the world. We are starting it in Michigan, but that does not mean I cannot have ideas from all over the world, because once we get a blueprint in Michigan, we're going to put that out to many, many people. We're going to start in sections, basically. We're going to see what works. It's going to be almost like a test process till we get it perfect. And if you know Ash Mafara, he's not a perfectionist. He just likes it done right. That's 2 different. A perfectionist, you never get nothing done because they're so perfect. Ash Mafara likes to get things done. And sometimes it might take him a little longer but he'll promise you, oh no, I'll get this. Just let me think about it. And that's what he does. Oh, Bless is going to explode the world. It's going to explode on passive. Just for instance, I'll give you a little tidbit. I have a couple gentlemen coming on Tuesday. One to talk about the 3D builds with houses, which Ash Mafara is absolutely crazy about. I also find out some information on a different way to build houses very, very fast with something called fiberglass. And I'll talk more about that on Tuesday. That's the kind of things I'm looking for. I had a gentleman call me. He explained it to me. I thought that's something I'd like to hear and talk about, but we're looking for we're looking for unusual ideas. I'm going to be honest with you. Unusual ideas that's never been done before. Look at our past 100 years. Yes, we have millions and millions of people, foundations that help out with poverty, homeless, whatever it is, saving the whales. All right. Many of them, but no one has ever really conquered one thing. Yes, they do help out. The problem is most of them run out of funds when they start. We're not going to run out of funds, people. We are not going to run out of funds with a blessed and good-hearted people. That's what we look for. But my main goal, my number one goal, is to get every foundation in the world, no matter what they're helping, no matter what they're giving, to be part of Impassive. So I'm asking you one more time, if you know individuals out there, okay, social workers, psychiatrists, doctors, we're going to need everything out there, every resource possible to be part of this. But we would love to invite them to that show. Any show, it doesn't matter, guys. I'm doing the 9 o'clock about Obless, but any webinar can talk about it. Let's get people involved. Let's get new things brought to us, and let's really understand how can we stop poverty. It's a great thing, but definitely Obless is coming. And if that don't get your heart growing, then you're probably not a founder. Narelle, back to you.
Thank you so much, Chris. And you know what you stated there, I give because I can, rather than I give what I can. And that stands out for me because I've always stated in some of my lives or when we've done presentations is when we're blessed, we want to bless others. You know, whether you're blessed with much or whether you're blessed with a smaller amount, it doesn't matter, because when you feel blessed, you actually want to bless others. So it is a point of what you feel in your own self. You know, do you want to help? Do you want to give more? Do you want to be a part of, say, the On-Passive Angels? And if you don't feel that in your heart, then don't step up and say yes. Not right now, you know, wait and see. You know, if you're in here just for yourself, that's okay too. We understand that. But for those who want to help Chris, he doesn't need people, I suppose, that are going to put in the negatives or drag him down with what he wants to do. You know, we are on a mission. On-Passive is on a mission. Chris is on a mission. Our CEO, Mr. Ash Mafara, is on a mission to bring balance back to humanity. You know, it's stated as that. So I give because I can is a huge thing to me, because I don't have a lot, but I give because I can and because I want to help another human being, you know, whether it's feeding little children and things like that. Yes, we can give more and we will be able to give more. So thank you, Chris, for sharing that. Looking forward to that. Apologetically, I'm going to perhaps be on the road traveling for 12 hours. Heading out to my sister's place, but I still will be watching the recording, and you know that my heart is with you and each of those who stand up. I think 3D building of houses is going to change our world. Oh my gosh, that alone, you know, I've seen videos on it and it truly is, yeah, it's outstanding how much it's going to help with all of those who live in, you know, little shacks and on dirt floors and things like that. And at such a less cost. I mean, here in Australia, don't know about anywhere else in the world, but housing has just gone through the roof. You know, like I said, my daughters were looking for a rental property 40 times. They were declined because people were coming from different states in Australia and wanting to pay more and above and beyond what they already were. They finally got a rental property just last week for $580 a week. Now you could be paying off a house for that, but not only have the rentals gone up because of the floods and terrible flooding and things like that here, the price of housing has gone up. And for the average young person who wants to buy their own property, it's not a disbelief in thinking that you can't ever have one. It's the fact that, you can't get anything under $300,000 anymore. You're more looking for something around $400,000 or $500,000. Now, what young person wants to spend $500,000 for their own home? It's just blown out of proportion, and it's very hard for the Aussie dream of owning your own home. So On Passive is going to change that for a lot. But can you imagine buying a block of land, or even buying a bigger block of land, and having a few people be able to build those homes on those blocks of land? Imagine going into communities where they are less fortunate, whether it be Uganda, Haiti, into parts of Africa, and having that set up where they can build, 100 homes in, say, a month. That is incredible when you think about that. But we can all do our little bit, okay? We can all do. And what that little bit is a big bit for a lot of other people. When you smile at people, sometimes I don't want to smile at anybody. And I have people say to me, "Oh, I saw you the other day." Yeah, I'm just focused on where I'm going and what I'm doing. Sorry about that. But we need to stop come out of our heads a little bit and actually see people for who they are, see what's happening, say hello to people on the streets, and see what response you get. Because, lack of communication is breakdown these days, and people are not doing it as often as what they used to. So thank you, Chris. Do look forward to that. I am very, very excited about that, because it's just another thing moving forward. We've spoken about Obless for some time now. We've seen what happened in India. And for any of those who are guests here or watching this live stream, please ask and we will show you lifting. I think it's, what is it? Raising up humanity, lifting up humanity. Sorry, I keep getting it wrong. And have a look at that video on what they did. Now, a lot of those are Indian leaders or Indian, the people who work in India for On Passive went out there and they went into a community and they gave food, and probably just the fact that they were there and they cared, and they gave more than just food that day. But the thing is, they want to continue. They don't want to wait just for Obless to, raise all the funds to give to these people. So now they're actually putting together their own little crowdfunding, I suppose. They're little putting it together so that they can continue to do this on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, so that you can't just go into some place and give once and then walk out and go, well, I did a great job. Well, feel much better for that, because you need to continue that. You need to continue it, whether it be weekly or fortnightly, monthly. You can't walk out on people once you start to give. And I think that's, a little bit sad if people are doing that. Okay, I think, Robert, you would like to say something just to share with us. And then I want to hear a little bit from Tracy as well, from our New Zealand counterpart. So, Robert.
Hi, how you going all? Really nice webinar today. It's got some good positive vibes. Yes, I guess one of the things is that which part we are, but I came in 2018 and it was just a backup. And I think that where I want to come from is investing in yourself. I mean, that's what I was doing. And commitment. I think through the whole thing of 2018, where we sit today, if you haven't invested in yourself, and I'm only talking to those who are visitors or guests, there's an opportunity here that blows everything out of the water. I mean, I've seen this opportunity was nothing. Absolutely, it's a dream. And the reason why I'm using the word commitment is because the CEO, Ash Bafara, is committed. So this hasn't come all the way here today where we see the towers and everything else from somebody falling asleep at the wheel. We've got a CEO that's committed, and that was driven home over that event. So if anybody's here thinking that this is a joke, it's no longer a joke, and we're all blown away. Totally enjoyed the event. Enjoyed everybody's company I seen through that night, and I don't really know what to say, because I got into on passive on my own initiative. This is where I find it a bit hard sometimes. I got in because what Marty DeGamo said and what John said, I've been through all that. So it didn't take me much to step up and become a founder. But today, there's so much information and so much scope that we've got to work with, whether it's blessed like Chris Johnson was talking about. But it's only going to get better and better. And if you're not going to invest in yourself and commit to something, then you're going to get left behind. And even us founders need to be committed also, because it's only going to get bigger and bigger, and you can't lose the momentum. You've got to be able to pick it up. I try and do the best I can. I'm not on all the webinars, but I tell you one thing, this is not even a dream come true anymore. This is basically materialized right through in our eyes. And that's all I've got to say. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, and welcome to all those who are here.
Thank you, Robert. It's always good to hear from you. So thank you for sharing that with us. And you're right, this is no joke. You know, if it was a joke, don't you think it would have fell over years ago? Would have fell over before it even started, but we have progressively moved forward. We went from Go founders to O founders. We started to beta testing some of our products. You know, there has been a launch in Dubai. Like I said, go and have a look. Search up the Burj Khalifa and have a look at the tallest building in the world. And we have the top floor at 151, and also offices on 134 owned by OnPassive. This isn't some little fly-by-nighter. This isn't a bright, shiny object. In actual fact, I used to say, that, you know, sick as tired of chasing the bright, shiny objects. OnPassive is the only bright, shiny object, okay, that you should even be looking at. If you want to buy other products because of your health or look better or whatever, go for it. You know, but you don't have to be a part of those businesses. And if it's legal and compliant through OnPassive, you can bring those businesses over and use the platform of OnPassive and share your business out to the world, because it's all done for you 100%. Marketing, which if you have done anything online, you will know that you would need to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, just as Marty and many others have done, to bring in a few customers from where? They're not targeted traffic. If you're buying leads, you're wasting a whole heap of money, because most of the leads have been flogged to death, you know, by other people, because they're not giving you fresh leads. They're giving you old hat. It's like, you know, when you get rung up by the telemarketers and you think, well, hang on a minute, you know, I've put in do not, over here in Australia, you can put in a thing to say do not call, which means that the telemarketers cannot call you. But guess what? Those companies, say the telecommunication companies, are selling your numbers, your information to these third parties, right? So they could be 3 years old. I don't even know how much they'd be paying for that. Thousands and thousands and thousands of numbers so that they can ring you to not only scam you, they're not all scammers. You know, I had 2 calls last week. One was from Cuba and the other was from South Africa. Now, do you think they're ringing me to say, hey, Narelle, how are you going? Do you need a hand with something? No, they want my money. You know, they don't want to say, hello, how are you going? They're ringing from all over the world, and they're ringing on old numbers. If you've had your number for a while, you know, and I've had mine for quite a few years, the same number, they're ringing you off old information that they had to buy from telecommunication companies that could be at least 3 years old. You know, think about that. When you're buying leads and you're spending thousands of dollars, even hundreds of dollars, you're getting old leads. You might get 1 out of 1,000. You might get 1 out of 100, but there's no guarantees. OnPassive guarantees that you're going to be successful. Now, what does success mean to each and every one of us? It would be different, right? To a person that's getting $100 a month, that could be their successful. To the next one who's earning $1,000 a month or replacing their income of $5,000 a month, that could be successful for them. So don't ever judge or compare yourself to others on what success is, because this is your life. These are your choices. And as Marty and Chris and everybody else has mentioned, it's about plugging in, staying connected. And you, Robert, you know, you got to stay connected. We've been away for a few weeks and we have made sure that we're still attending other people's webinars to stay connected so that we're seen. You know, Yvonne and I have not put in all of this time to bring out Australia and New Zealand to then just go, oh, well, that was fun. See you later. No, we're still calling out for Australia and New Zealand. We have about 4,500 founders here in Australia out of 25.8 million people. Why didn't they see the dream? Why haven't they seen the vision? Because I know we've all shared it. Because the government props them up and says, hey, here's a little handout. You'll be right, mate. You don't need to look for anything else. As long as we can keep you into that, settle you into, say, a Centrelink payment, government payment, you'll be right because you'll always be reliant on us. We need for those people who aren't into that mindset to step up and go, no more. I don't want to be a part of that. I want to stand up. I want to make a change. You know, I didn't come in because I was looking for a residual income. In actual fact, I'd given up because I'd had enough of those other empty promises. I came in because I saw an opportunity with the Obless platform to raise funds for my great niece Mimi to help with her treatments, ongoing treatments for life, to help her possibly walk unaided one day. That it's not such a burden on her parents to have to raise funds or rely on the government for handouts. You know, NDIS over here is to help those with disabilities, but they're like a controlling agent. You jump and you jump through the hoops that they put up, and maybe they might give you something to help you with your child or your, you know, adult person that you might be having to care for. We don't want you to do that. We don't want you to have to jump through hoops. We don't want you to be reliant on Centrelink or a government payment for the rest of your life. You've got to have a bigger dream. You know, Australians and New Zealanders, we're calling out for you because this is important right now. We don't want you to come to us in a little while and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it as that, you know, because we go into launch and no longer will founder positions will be available. For 136 Australian dollars roughly, right? Just give or take a few dollars because of the how it floats against the US dollars, but it's 97 US dollars and a $5 admin fee, which is charged by the banks when you use your credit card. You can become a founder within OnPassive today, not tomorrow, not next week. Go in, ask for your personal invite because you can't get in any other way. We'll send you some information. We'll send you the link so that you can join up. And then once you're into that position, if you need a couple of days to pay for it, that's okay. You know, use your credit card, but do whatever you can. Sell something. Sell your wife, your husband, one of your children. You know, your left arm, your right leg. You know, honestly, you will not be sorry that you went and had to do something or borrow from your mother or borrow from your friend and just say, look, I need $136 to be a founder within this company today. You know, there is a once out-of-pocket payment for to start your subscriptions. And when we go into the premier launch, this will be a once only out of pocket. It's promised. It's never going to come out of your pocket again. And yes, we are a subscription-based business. But all of those people, as Marty DeGamo has said many times, for the first time in history, you and I and everyday people are the founders, firstly, within these companies, not the bigwigs, not the guys already sitting with the flash Lamborghinis or the houses with 28 bedrooms. They're not the ones at the top. We are. We are there because we saw that vision. So thank you. Sorry. I am really at a stage in my life where it is so important for me to speak up and to speak my truth, because my truth is your truth as well. You know, I am no longer sitting behind anyone and saying, oh, well, you know, like, you do whatever you want. That's what I actually say. Do whatever you want, whatever. Doesn't matter anymore. If you don't see it, it doesn't matter. And you know what? I'm not one of those people to say, I told you so, because probably in my life, I've been told that a few times too. You know, I'm not that person. I would just like to say, I did tell you about this. You didn't see the vision, and that's okay. Would you like to be a customer? Would you like to be a reseller within OnPassive? Because I can help you with that as well. Like Chris said, not everybody's going to be a founder within OnPassive. And our Ash Mafaran knows that. Okay, but to start with over 1.2 million founders is a true blessing. And I love each and every one of you for listening to me. So I'm going to shoot over to Yvonne quickly, and then we'll come back with a couple more, and then we'll finish up for the day. So Tracy, I know that you're waiting. Yvonne, if you'd like to introduce Tracy and have a little say. Thank you. You're muted, Yvonne.
Sorry. Hello, sorry. I was going to actually finish off in a minute with someone who actually went to the event. But before I do, I just want to say how exciting it was. I watched it on the big screen and I was absolutely amazed. I was in tears, I was shaking, I was goosebumps, I was everything. It was amazing. So, you know, if you're watching this, please reach out to whoever invited you. This is probably very close to your last chance. We don't know when this is going to close up, but this is an amazing opportunity and there is something for you. And it can be, it doesn't matter who you are, doctor, a professional, anything, you can be anybody. It doesn't, you know, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but sorry.
Discriminate. It doesn't discriminate.
That's the word. Sorry, blank moment. Yeah, it doesn't discriminate. So you can be anybody, and this company will help you. This is an amazing opportunity for you all, anybody. So before I carry on, I will actually introduce our lovely Tracy Gear from New Zealand. So Tracy, if you'd like to say a word.
Thank you, Yvonne. I just want to say in 2019 when I joined OnPassive, it was the last chance. And I heard the vision from Marty, and I sort of grabbed it straight away. And then hearing Ash, I just joined. And I can't believe it. I've been telling everybody about it in New Zealand. Right from 2019, they've seen Burj Khalifa, you know, OnPassive there, but they still think it's a scam. What is wrong with people in New Zealand?
I think the same, Tracy, that's wrong with most people all over the world. They live in fear. And you know what? It's okay. Like I said, it's okay if you come to me later, and it's okay if they come to you later, Tracy, because you'll be able to help them to become a customer within OnPassive, because they will want to use it. So
Yeah, that's right, Yvonne. Like my years, I've been on the wrong path and the right path my whole life, done nothing with my life, and this is the legacy to my life.
Absolutely.
Well
and what
said,
a legacy
Tracy.
it will
Well
be,
said.
Tracy. And Tracy, I just want to say something. We see you everywhere. You know, you are a dedicated founder. And thank you so much for your support always with Australia and New Zealand, but all over the world as well. So thank you so much. We celebrate you.
I love all you founders in my family.
Thank you,
one
Tracy.
big happy family.
Yvonne, we have this same friend, Osman Bangura from Africa.
Yes, we do.
I don't know if he made it here. I sent him the link.
Yes, I'm not sure if he's here actually, but I am talking to him at the moment because he's from Sierra Leone, where I have a
Yeah.
sister from as well. So,
He was telling me
yeah.
that, Yvonne.
Yeah, that's lovely. So how we join across the world is amazing, isn't it?
It's
Love
amazing.
and
Right?
passive.
My
Okay,
brother
can
and
we go? Sorry,
Thank you,
Tracy.
Casey.
Thank you.
you.
Hello,
Okay,
Miss
William
Narelle.
Delorme.
Oh, hello, Mamodo. Is that you?
Mamadou, I had somebody mention Sierra Leone. That's my country.
There you go. Well, you need to contact Yvonne. She has a sister there.
No,
Who is that?
from there.
From there. Sorry, from there.
Yeah,
Not there living.
They are actually now in the UK because my mum brought them over to give them a better life. So, yeah, they're doing excellent.
Beautiful. And thank you, Mamodo, for being here. Truly
Oh, you're
amazing.
welcome. Sorry,
Thank
I
you.
couldn't turn my video on, I'm at work.
Yeah, no, that's okay. You're working all the time, and thank you for doing what you do for those people
You're
that you
welcome.
help.
You're welcome. Thank you, too. You're doing
Thank
a
you.
Thank you,
great work
Mamodu.
for us. God bless
Thank
you,
you,
Miss
Mamodu.
Narelle.
Beautiful. Thank you. We appreciate you, Mamodu. We're going to go over to our next speaker because we're coming up for time, and we do like to stick with time. We've got lots to do, and we know that you do too. So thank you, Mamodu. Once again, we appreciate you. Over to you, William.
Hello.
Hi, William.
Hi, William here. I was thinking, we know the targeted traffic is good. So the founders' positions will disappear eventually. We'll have O-Connect, which will be a level. You see what Papua New Guinea did just to get a position? So I imagine even the reseller positions will be good because they actually will give people a sense of accomplishment in anything, knowledge, creativity. There's a lot of things, plus the traffic. They'll be making some money. So I don't see anything wrong with a reseller's position. Nothing.
No,
With
absolutely
the products,
not.
yeah, because our products, like you were mentioning, are built from the ground up. But I was listening to the IT people that they were AI induced with machine learning. So they're going to get better all the time. So we're in a really good position, even as for resellers positions. I think it'll be really good for the world.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right there, William. And like I said, not everyone will be a founder, so those who come in later, you can help them to be a reseller or even, as a customer, whatever they might use, there'll be packages available to them, I'm sure, but what they're using right now on the internet, a lot are getting disgruntled, whether it be in social medias, whether it be emails for big businesses and medium businesses where they can't bulk send unless they have a different app to be able to do that, which they're purchasing, which they pay every month. Just to be on Zoom costs you money. It might be free if you want to talk to one person, right? Any more than that, you're limited to 40 minutes. Well, OnPassive doesn't have any of those limitations. And I think when people start to see that these platforms are unlimited, that they're going to be available at that lower price point, they will want to come. Now, whether they're using a free product or whether they're using the free Zoom or the free Facebook, you get what you pay for. We've all learnt that lesson over the years, whether you're buying food or a car or whatever, you get what you pay for, particularly in clothing. If you buy something out of China, you're getting exactly what you paid for, which is something that usually isn't sewn together very well or stays together very well. So OnPassive is being built and knitted together so that each and every one of us become that that I'm going to say a ball, like a big round ball, like the globe, and we're all knitted together with the same heart. So, William, thank you for sharing today. I think you're right. I think that we should all, don't stress over it. If people see the vision, they're going to come. And if not, they can come in as customers or resellers. I'm sure each and every one of you have almost exhausted yourself with sharing, on passive. We don't like to bring any negatives into this, and whatever negatives are out there, they can keep it to themselves. Those people will one day have to be responsible for their actions and their words. That is not for us to do. So we're not going to make judgment on them. If they disobey, or not disobey, but if they fall short of what On Passive asks, then according to our NDA and according to our legal team, those people will no longer be anything to do with On Passive, or the negatives will slip away, because even now, Dubai, it's gone out there, people are still saying things, but it's okay. We believe, okay, we're here. We see what's happened and we've seen the growth. So thank you again, William, for your support and for being everywhere. We celebrate you. Thank you. Yvonne, if there's nobody else, I'm just going to ask quickly if anybody else would like to put up their hand. You've got 2 minutes if you want to share something.
Can we ask someone who wants to share how the event was for them very quickly?
I was going to come over to you with that and let you introduce Sherry, I presume. So
Sherry,
over to you.
come on down.
Sure, I would love to share my adventure to the Boston, the 3/30 2022 big event. So I'll keep it short. So I was amazed first that I was even asked. I was honored and blessed. I knew I'd meet Ash eventually, but I thought it'd be in California a few months later or something. So that was a blessing in itself. But to see the people who we Zoom on all the time, because we've all grown together, cried together, shared together, all those feelings on a Zoom or a webinar, and you finally meet them in person. It's just like incredible, not to mention how some look shorter, some look taller, and that kind of thing. So that was incredible. And then to actually meet Ash. Ash is like a little kid, but yet a family man that treats you like family. When he saw us, when we all came in from the into the hotel, because I knew I would see him that night, but I was expecting to come and then go from there, but that didn't happen. So he just hugged all of us like we were family. And that was just so amazing. And he treats you like family, maybe even over the top, speaking of the top, maybe even like over the top. He's so genuine. He was like a little kid. His eyes lit up like, oh my gosh, you guys are here. And he just gave us hugs and shared things. He always still, you can tell he's thinking, but he still always made sure that everything was good with you. And he's genuine. When he talks to you just like, I want to say like a loved one when you're first falling in love or whatever. That's how I kind of use it as, because you're really listening to that person. So that's how he does that. And then when we had the actual events, like I had no idea what to expect. I kept trying to figure it out all this time anyway. And then when I got asked for the event, I was like, well, what's going to, I had all these things going in my head, what was going to transpire. And then when we were in the room and he wrote out, "Oh, bless," that to me was just, everybody cried. It was phenomenal, because that's what our company is about, is helping people. And Ash has already helped so many people. He doesn't realize it, because us on the how we all got connected, we're helping people in here who've had rough times, who maybe just need a prayer or hi, or tell them they're important. So the Oh Bless was phenomenal. I think it was more phenomenal even than Dubai. Dubai is more like it was up there. Don't get me wrong, it was way up there. And I really appreciate it because I had no clue what, I remember him mentioning Dubai a while back, but I didn't like put the things together because I did do a little bit of work studying about Dubai. Just probably like 5-6 months ago, somebody was in Dubai that I know, and they shared some stuff with me. But so I did my homework then, but I didn't really put the two together. But when he rolled out Dubai, I'm like, oh my gosh, what a way to run campaigns, right? Who does that? Who in the heck does that? And like he said, to get into Dubai, you have to be, they fine tooth you to have you looked at. You don't just get in there and then just roll out. You have to go through a lot of hoops to even get qualified to be, be like getting to see the president or whatever. You have to go through all these steps. So it's just phenomenal to me how he's rolled this out, and to know that we are part of something that's so bigger than, and we just know like 1% or 2% of what this passive has to offer for people and how it's going to change the world. That to me is phenomenal. So Ash said that he couldn't change the world, but he can change your world. So if you're watching, we're waiting for you to change your world. Don't you want to change your world, make it better so you can have with yours and spend special moments with your family and loved ones, because that's what life's about. Not about stress. I mean, when you're happier, when your finances are better for you, so you don't have to stress out about how you're going to pay this, how you're going to pay that, it puts a smile on your face. And then you go out and you spread that smile throughout your family, throughout the world, and so on and so forth. So we're here to correct the corruption and help humanity. And we are going to make a big movement. And boy, we have just got to our first stop. Can't wait to see what the next stop is. Who knows what Ash has in store for us. I'm sure he has so many ideas and has them all wrote down and shared them with his lovely wife, who's also a phenomenal young lady who's helping with this as well. They're all just like over the top to me, but I can't wait to meet them as well. And I can't wait for you all to meet Mr. Ash Bufar and his family as well. They are very genuine and down to earth. We love them. I love you guys all. And you all are important in this world. Please don't hesitate to share your talents, whatever it may be, whether it's just a song, whether it's just a writing, whether it's just whatever your talent may be. Maybe it's just listening to somebody. That's my talent, is listening to people. So that's all I have for you folks. Take care, take charge. I love you guys all.
Thank you,
See you
Sherry.
next top. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sherry. You're amazing.
Very, very top. Excellent, excellent. How exciting is that, and how wonderful will that feel when we all get to meet our CEO, Mr. Ash Mafara? I know many. He's going to be a very hugged out man, especially if Marty goes first. Sorry, Marty, love you. Okay, so I don't see any more hands up. But I do just want to run through some things, and then I'll go over to you, Yvonne. We are taking Easter off. As you may have heard or may not have heard in the beginning, we are just taking Easter. I'm leaving on Wednesday, heading out to my sister and her husband's 20,000-acre cattle property. We used to go every 2 years. COVID put a stop to that in 2020, but we're heading out there to laugh, eat, celebrate my sister's 60th birthday and also Easter. So I will be away for a week. I do plan, if I can, internet out there is not run by satellite or anything. It's 12-hour plus drive up to 14 hours to get there. They run off a television antenna. It's really weird for their internet. So it really is a bit sparse here and there, but I'll try and say hello to a few people, and certainly my dear friend Yvonne, and keep in contact with her. Chris, I hope next Tuesday night goes really well for you. Like I said, I will listen to that. Please keep me in touch with anything that's happening there or anything that I can do to help. We want to thank each and every one of you from Australia and New Zealand who are supporting us here on our webinar. Like I said, we have missed you all. It's just been, you get so far and then it's time to take a break. Yvonne and I have thrown ourselves into it. We do have a YouTube channel where this is live streaming right now. We would appreciate it if you pop over to our YouTube and at least like and subscribe so that you can keep updated with any of the lives that come through. When Marty and the corporate platforms do their lives, they always come through to On Passive Aussie Girls as well. So we do have a Facebook like page, and we also have now a new Facebook group, which is called On Passive Australia and NZ. If you look for it, please, again, like it, join us there. Yvonne has put it in the chat because that keeps you updated with also any of the other webinars that are happening around our time zone. We try to keep with just around our time zone because we know it's no good putting information up there for something that's happening at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, unless it's Ash coming on. Okay. We all wake up for Ash, even if it is 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because we want to hear what our CEO has to share. Roundtable is on for us tomorrow morning. For Queensland, it's at 4 a.m. So for Western Australia, it will be 2 a.m. And for Yvonne in the Northern Territory, it will be 3:30 a.m. So if you are available, check in your back office for the link for the roundtable. That will be a founders only, and you can have your any questions answered. And if Ash comes on, well, Ash comes on. No promises. Keep an eye out, watch the lives if you can, or the replays of Marty, Degamo, Red Redfern, and Chris Johnson, I see now has a new YouTube channel. So look out for that. Please go over, like and subscribe to Chris's YouTube channel. It's hugely important right now that we're supporting each and every one. So even if you don't want to be, it dinging all the time, or even if you join our Facebook group, please turn off the notifications, or just be aware that whatever's coming through is important and that you want to be reminded of when things are becoming available so that you can listen in as well. So I think I've covered everything there. Please remember that it is Easter coming up. Good Friday is for us. I know the US is behind by a day, but please please take care, everyone. If you are traveling, safe travels. Remember the true meaning of Easter as well. Reach out to those around you. Do not think that there are people not suffering in our world that don't even know anything about Easter. There are people out there who need your smile, need your love, and need your care. So start there. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Marty, for always being here and supporting us here in Australia and New Zealand. We appreciate you so much. Your dedication is truly amazing, and it's just so wonderful just to see your faces all the time. Thank you, Tina from Singapore. Thank you all who have come here. Deborah from Australia as well. Thank you so much for being here today. Christina Dodds, I love your heart. For all of those who've been here, Karina as well. David Switzer, any of those who come in and support us, and I can't name all of you because I'll be here for another 10 minutes, but we love and appreciate you all. I'll hand over to you, Yvonne, if you'd like to finish off, and Marty, if you'd like to stop the recording and live streaming, we can spend a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and thank you. A big round of applause for Narelle for hosting. She does an amazing job. Big thank you to Chris again, and Marty for being here. I know your time is so, it's just special to have you all here. Thank you. So yeah, thank you everybody, and we'll see you after Easter.